Okay, good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Brian. Daily. Good morning, Evelyn. Good morning, Frank. Bella. Yahaira, good morning. Juliana, Keandra, Luis, good morning. Good morning, guys. Maria, good morning. Sophia. Trey, good morning. Sophia, good morning. Carlos, good morning. Daisy, Derek, Jacobo, good morning, guys. Hopefully we're ready for the 3-day weekend.
Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Trey. Even though all days feel like a 3-day weekend, right? Super fun. Awesome. Today's lesson's not that bad, guys. I plan on finishing Unit 9 today. And we'll start on calculus hopefully on Monday. If all goes well. Friendly reminder, guys, I am available for homework help. If you're struggling with the homework, please reach out to me or reach out to a friend or email me, text me, or message me, whatever the case may be, to ask for help. I am here for you guys. I know it's difficult. I know some of us would wait in class and then I'll be walking around and I'll be like, oh, you need help, or you stuff like that. Low-key, I do miss you guys, but this is our new future, and let's see how we can accept it. Low-key, yeah. Alrighty, guys. So the do now, guys, is not that bad. Introduction to sequences. Pretty fun stuff. A lot of us would have liked it because in class I would have done like little patterns, but it's pretty fun stuff. So pretty much not bad stuff. So find the pattern given in this sequence. So this one was a super hard one. What was the pattern, guys? From here to here.
Adding 3?
Yeah,
plus 3.
12 plus 3.
Yeah, they weren't that bad, right? So this is, if you had to say, hey, 6 and you subtract the one before it, I get the difference is 3. And if I check it somewhere else, this 12 and minus 9, still 3, right? The difference is 3. So what I want you to know today is we're gonna learn arithmetic sequences that have a common difference, a common difference of D. So that was the do now, not hard stuff. So what is an arithmetic sequence? Well, this is what we're gonna go ahead and learn. Since in calculus, you do deal a lot with certain sequences of numbers and finding the sums, finding out what is in common. I also picked this lesson because in stats, most of us will be going there next year, unless you don't do my homework and then I have to chase you down like I have been doing yesterday. In stats, pretty much what you're going to be dealing with is also a series of numbers, putting it in a table, finding their average, their median, their mode, whatever the case may be, finding a correlation. So I'm trying to pick lessons that will help both in stats and calculus. So that's why everything changed from the original PowerPoint that I submitted. So pretty much this is a definition. Oh, it is a sequence, an arithmetic sequence. It has a common difference between two consecutive terms. So I believe the sequence was what? Started with 3 or started with 6? Oh yeah, 0. So 3, 6, 9, 12 was the one that I was looking with. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. So something that I want you to know is that the difference right here, the difference D, is the difference between every consecutive term. So let's go ahead and start labeling this. The first term is going to be labeled A sub 1. So a big A with a little 1 right here. A sub 1. This is the first term. So hopefully you can go ahead and see that the second term will be this 3. That will be a big A with a little 2. The third term, hopefully you catch my drift, A to the third. So it's a big A with a 3. So let's go ahead and say dot, 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 this term right here. Well, I don't know what it is, but I can label it as a n, because n is the amount of spaces here. So this is what I want you to know. There is some basic info that you need to know. This for sure the first term, this is a of 1. Second term is a of 2. And so far, this is the nth term. Not bad stuff, just a little bit of keywords here. Can I continue? Yes, no? Awesome. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and do some of these right here. So I'll give you a couple seconds to write this out. Let me move you guys a little bit here, and let me move you guys over here. Okay. So what I have here are 3 examples, and I'm going to be using these throughout the lesson. Okay. So just write them once, and then you could continue to follow along with them throughout.
Do we leave a lot of space in between?
Yes, yes, yes. So usually I would have printed this out for you, and it would have just been vertical, these 3 vertical, and we would have done the entire notes on this. If you want to copy what I did, if not, you could do example 1, example 2, example 3. Okay, so first thing that we want to go ahead and do is find the common difference D. So find what is the common difference. So I'll give you a couple seconds since these aren't that bad. Find out what is the difference in each term.
I just need to write the other ones.
Let me pick someone at random. So how do I do this with random? You could either unmute yourself or put it in the chat box. Leo, do you want to give me the common difference for the first one? Either on the chat box or on the mic. And then I'll go for Michelle Flores for number 2. And Annika, can you help me out with number 3? Either on the chat box or unmute yourself. Thank you, Leo. Leo told us that the common difference was 4. So if we go ahead and do 2 plus 4, I get 6. 6 plus 4 gives me 10. Thank you, Leo. So the difference is 4. Good job. For number 2, does anyone want to shout out the common difference?
-3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michelle. Yeah, in the -3. So yes, if we go ahead and check right here, -7, I'm going more negative. So -3, -3, -3. Kevin, do you want to help me out with example 3? What is the common difference for example 3? Either on the chat box or unmute yourself. Just kidding. Anyone on the chat box? Oh, just kidding. Thank you, Kevin. So right here, it is also -5, right? It just keeps going at a -5. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Okay. The next part is not that bad. We want to go ahead and find the next, we want to go ahead and find the next 3 terms. So these aren't that bad. You're going to go ahead and do this same difference to the last term that you have. So we have that the 14, if I want the next term, so from 14, I add 4, that gives me 18. I add 4 to 18. What do I get? That's 22, right?
22.
And then I add 4
and 26.
26. So these are the next 3 terms. And I do the same thing with the following one. This one right here, I subtract 3. So that would give me a -19. I subtract 3, that would give me a negative 22, right? And then I subtract 3, negative 25, hopefully. And then this one right here, I'm subtracting 5. So I'm going to go ahead and see that this will become negative 10. The next one would be negative 15 and a negative 20. So these are your arithmetic sequences because they have a common difference that we just found out here. Okay, any questions so far? Hopefully these aren't that bad. That is the first part of the lesson, okay? The next part becomes a little tricky, but it's not that bad. So we're using the same numbers, guys. This is still example 1, example 2, and example 3. But I want you to write this down. So go ahead and write this down. This is the arithmetic sequence formula. And you don't have to write the examples again because we just did it. Just that I needed to put them on every slide since that's how my PowerPoint works. So what we're gonna go ahead and do here, guys, is we're gonna fill in this formula.
Wait. You guys, didn't we learn this in 8th grade?
Hopefully, I mean,
It looks familiar.
that'll be nice. Okay, alrighty. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is substitute these. So what we need to go ahead and remind ourselves, this right here, A1, I'm not talking about the A1 sauce, I'm actually talking about the first term. Okay, so A1 is the first term. N is whatever term you are using, the nth term. And D, well, that is the difference, the common difference. And this right here, A of N, is the nth term. So you're probably wondering, why the heck do I need this? Well, keep in mind, I could maybe ask you for the next term and you could probably do the pattern and you'll be okay with it. But if I ask you, hey, find me the 100th term or find me the 200th term or something like that, hopefully you're not gonna go ahead and do this pattern 100 times. So let's fill in the formula for the first one. So it says AN equals the difference N minus 1 plus A1. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill that up. And hopefully this is not too difficult. We're just plugging in the numbers. And it says A of N is equal to the difference. Well, what is the difference from here to here? This should be 4. And then I have my N minus 1 plus my A1, which is, I'm sorry, where's my A1, which is my first term, sorry. I froze. Okay, any questions so far? So we can go ahead and do the rest as well. So I got A of N is equal to the formula, difference times N minus 1 plus my first term. And I can fill that up. AN equals my common difference, which we agreed was -3, I believe.
Yeah.
And minus 1. And my first term came from here, -7. So I'll give you a couple of seconds so you could do the next one on your own and then you could follow along with me. And equals the difference N minus 1 plus A of 1. And we can fill that in. So let's fill that in. A of N is equal to the difference, and we can see that the difference from each term is -5, N minus 1, and the first term came from here. The first term in the sequence was 10. Okay. I'm going to make a slight little change here, so we won't have to use a calculator. So I'm going to change this to be the 101th term. So that's going to change it, just to make it easier on ourselves. Okay.
Just a little easier.
Yep. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. If I told you, hey guys, find me the 100th term. Whoa. Find me the 6th term. What's going on? Okay. Find the 6th term, or the A6, which is the same thing, right? That means my n is equal to 6. So I can go ahead and do that here. So A of 6 is equal to, according to this equation, it's going to be my 4 times my n, but I just said my n is 6 minus 1 plus 2. So in this case, it should be 4 times 6 minus 1. That is 5 plus 2. So that is 20 plus 2, which gives me 22. That would be the 6th term. This would be your answer. Any questions on that?
22.
Yep. I'll go ahead and try the next one. And what if they told me find the 101th term? Well, that means n is equal to 101 because that's the number I want to find. So I'm going to put it into the same equation. So I got my equation right here. And it says it's 4 minus my n minus 1 plus 2. And I'm going to put n to be 101. So it's going to be 4 times 101 minus 1 plus 2. So in this case, it's 4 times 100 plus 2. So that should give us what? 402?
Doing the same one?
Yes, we're doing the same one, the example one. And just that I ran out of space.
Dang it. Okay.
I ran out of space, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, any questions? This right here is the 100th and 1 term.
So 402.
Yep. Since I'm running out of space, I'm going to do example 2 only. So then I'll see what I can do here. There you go. Maybe that gives me more space. So go ahead and try number 2, example 2, this one right here. And find me the 6th term. Find A6 and find A101 using this formula.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you a couple seconds and then we'll do it together. Alrighty, I'll start on A6. So A of 6 is equal to the formula that we just found, this one right here. That said A of n equals, whoopsie daisy, what am I doing? That said A of n is equal to -3 and minus 1 minus 7. And I know exactly what my, I know exactly what my value n is this 6 is equal to my n. So it's -3, 6 minus 1 minus 7. So it's -3, -6 minus 1, that is 5. I'm sorry, 6 minus 1 is 5, minus 7. So it's -15. If I subtract 7, what do I get? Negative 22? Someone? Yes, no? So my sixth term is this one right here, negative 22. Now, if I want to find the 101 term, I need to find a of 101, right? I'm sorry, this right here. So it's going to be the same formula, negative 3, but my n now is 101 minus 1 minus 7. The only thing that changed is now n is equal to 101. So I got negative 3, 101 minus 1, that's just 100 minus 7. So that's negative 300 minus 7. So that's negative 307 as my 101 term, also known as A of 101. So this would be our answer for the 100th one, and this would be for the sixth term. Okay. Any questions on that so far? No? Okay, so they're not that bad, guys. Let's go ahead and see that different example. So I believe this are my last two examples. So this would be example 4 and 5. 4 and example 5. So I'll give you a couple seconds to write that down. Whoops, sorry. And I'll write the equation in case you need it over here. Whoops. A of n equals the difference n minus 1. Okay, so I prefer these a lot more because they give you the important information right to begin with, and you don't have to find the difference. You don't have to find that. You don't have to find much. So they gave us A of 1 equals 10. What the heck does that mean? Well, that is the first term, right? Then they gave us D, so difference is equal to 7. And they want us to find this right here. This is what they want. So all I'm gonna do is substitute to my equation, my handy dandy arithmetic sequence equation. So all I have to do is substitute. So it's gonna be this first term, A of 1, I'm gonna put it right here. And my difference, I'm gonna put it right here. So I have A of n is equal to the difference, which is 7, n minus 1, plus my first term, which is 10. Then this is the arithmetic sequence formula. So if you want your term to be the 20th term, the 1000th term, the 500th term, whatever the case may be, you can use this right here. Now, in this case, they want to find A of 21. So that means n is equal to 21. And all I have to do is substitute everything there. So it's going to be the following. A of 21 equals 7. What is my n? Well, my n I just saw is 21 minus 1 plus my common difference of 10. So it's going to be 7 times 20, right? Because 21 minus 1 is 20 plus 10. So 7 times 20, what is that? 140?
40.
Plus 10. That gives me 150 is the 21st term. 21st term. This right here would be the solution. Any questions so far, guys? You could either ask it in the chat box or unmute yourself, guys, and I'll try my best to answer. Try number 5, guys. That's the last one. Okay. So I got I got a of 1 is -5. The difference is 2, and I want to find the 101 term. So I like to start off with what they are giving us. So they give then, oopsie daisy, what just happened? Rip. That it is so
This
sad.
is all your work.
It just erased everything. How do I undo that? That is terribly, terribly misfortunate. Okay, I'll just rewrite it before I upload it. Okay, no worries. All right, so given, rip, yep, rip, I agree. Okay, given A1 equals -5, the difference is 2, and they want the 101 term. I like to pick these numbers because you don't need a calculator for them. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do is write the equation. A of n is the difference, n minus 1 plus A1. So I'm gonna substitute what they got. An equals the difference, which is 2. My n, I don't know it, minus 1 plus a of 1, which is the first term, right? The a of 1 is the first term. So this is plus a -5, which is the same thing as saying 2n minus 1 minus 5. This will help me find any term on the sequence. I don't care if it's the 100th term, I don't care if it's the 1000th term, or whatever the case may be, as long as it's a whole number, right? Of course. So we want the 101 term. That means n equals 101. So it's going to be A101 equals 2. What is my n? Well, I just said it right here. It's 101 minus 1 minus 5. So it's 2 times 101 minus 1. That is 100 minus 5. So that is 200 minus 5. That is 195 as my 101 term. Pretty dang cool.
It's fun.
Yep, it's pretty fun stuff. And then for multiplication, that would be the geometric sequence. And I do want to go ahead and talk about that next week. And for the kids at home, let me go ahead and rewrite this so when I upload it, it's not that bad.
For the kids at home.
While you guys finish writing. Hopefully this helps the kids at home. A of n equals 7n minus 1 plus my 10. Want a of 21, so n was 21. Sorry guys, I just want to put it because I know I will forget if I don't do it right now.
So is that all for today's lesson? Like, are we done?
Yes, you are done after this, yeah. So
Okay.
Your homework?
Yep. So this was what, 140 plus 10, which was 150. Hopefully that's what I got last time. So yes, friendly reminder, you don't have class on Friday. Oh, for this pre-calc class, we never had class on Friday. But this is what I have so far, this arithmetic sequence. I want to go ahead and talk about geometric sequence on Monday, but I look forward to starting calculus for the last chapter. I know most of us will be going to stats. So I just need to go ahead and talk to Ms. Flores to find out what she would like me to cover to push you to that route. If not, 10th graders, I will be pushing to calculus more. And the rest of us will be somewhere in the middle since I don't know how this is gonna work. Does anyone have any questions about the notes for today? Friendly reminder, guys, though I do accept late work still, but preferably, hopefully you do it when it's due. I mean, before it's due. I know most of the kids that are signed in are the ones that do the homework. So, friendly reminder, you can ask me questions, whether it's about this or even if it's ACT math or whatever the case may be.
Sir, are you gonna go over the sum of the first nth terms? Probably.
The sum of what?
The first nth terms.
Ooh, that would have been taught if we were on regular. If we were on regular classes, yes, Jacobo, I would talk about that. But since I can make it an optional video for the people that want to learn the stuff of pre-cal that is not covered, because Unit 9. What we just finished, right? Should have been 3 lessons. We only did like 4. But that's because we are on this new distance learning route, right? I can't keep you accountable for the other stuff, but Jacobo, if you want to learn the extra stuff, I can make additional resources and stuff like that. But that will be optional because I don't know if everyone has opportunities to learn more. The only thing I'm going to be going hard on is chapter 10, which is chapter 1, limits in calculus. But if you have a question on that, Jacobo, I could definitely teach you how to find the sum of the nth term.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of needed it for the ACT, but
Yeah, I know that it's taught in the ACT. I could upload the formula, to be honest with you, Jacobo. That is a formula that you find, and they're just a sum of nth terms. It's just using Riemann sums whenever they give you something.
Sums,
Yeah, so given a number is where you start, this is where you stop, and this is the function. And you just find the numbers. But yeah, unfortunately, that I haven't taught that. But I can make the videos if that's something you want to follow along on your own. I recommend it since,
Yeah,
I could definitely do that.
I would like to learn that.
Yeah. Other than that, guys, you are golden. You guys are good to go.
Well, we have homework, right?
Yes, we do have homework.